You know that feeling that you get sometimes, that you are being watched? That spine-chilling sensation when you think you are not alone, when for all intents and purposes, you should be. I think it is something we have all experienced at some point in our lives. More so now than probably ever, with all of us having some kind of smart device in our pockets, home, and cars at all times. The ease in which someone can be listening in or watching us is truly scarier than any horror movie or creepypasta reading could ever hope to be. There are numerous articles and films out there telling us of the dangers and ease at which someone from practically anywhere in the world can spy on you at any given second. Yet, most of us will just chalk it up to our lives not being that interesting and leave it at that, not thinking that it would ever actually really happen to us. Well, that is exactly what seemed to happen to a Reddit user going by the name Sleepy and Worried. In March of this year, she made a post expressing her concerns over her landlord. Throughout her post, that concern leads to panic that builds into the plot line straight out of a horror movie. This is the still ongoing story of a Redditor who was being watched. Is my landlord watching me? Hello, I am new to Reddit, and after debating for a bit, I decided to make this account to maybe get some input of what to do. English is my second language, so I apologize for any typos. I am a 26-year-old female living alone for the first time. My landlord has always felt a bit off to me. He is a man in his late 40s and has never held back with comments about the way that I look. When I moved in, he was very clear about me not touching the 2 fire alarms in my bedroom and the hallway. He justified it by saying that they were directly connected with the fire department, and if I would try to do anything to them, I would cause an alarm. The alarm in my bedroom has always made me feel weird. It makes a lot of noises, especially at night, almost sounding like a remote-controlled car, and sometimes making a very muffled beeping sound. I brought it up to him once and he said that it was nothing, and if it should make more problems then I should just call him. But other things kept happening and I just more and more felt like something was off. But at the same time, people kept telling me I was overthinking things and scared since it was my first time living alone. The first thing that felt off to me was I was renovating to move in. I grabbed a wrong shade of color I wanted for my bedroom, and it ended up looking a bit too bright on the wall I tested it on. A few days later, during a phone call, he snapped at my parents about how horrible the pink was I was using in my bedroom, and if I was crazy. I had not let him inside my place, so I was very confused, but kinda just brushed it off to me walking around in paint-covered clothing. But things got weirder after that. During January of last year, I spent a day at my parents', and when I came back, something felt off. I couldn't pinpoint it, and no one was inside of my apartment, but I realized after walking into my bedroom a second time, one of my drawers under my bed was pulled out, and I don't remember ever touching it. Again, I brushed it off, mainly because my parents told me I probably just forgot, and I kind of ended up feeling ashamed for ever mentioning it. Months later, during the summer, I took part in a gaming night on a friend's Discord server, and when I finally hopped off to go to bed at 4 a.m., I came into my bedroom to see my underwear drawers being open. I panicked and called my mom because she lives close by, and I wasn't sure if someone was still in the apartment. After that, I installed a door chain and got an alarm for the first time I spent at home. I suspected my landlord had a second key, and now probably wasn't able to get inside anymore. But that didn't cover the time when I am not at home. Sometimes when I come back, furniture in my bedroom is slightly moved. But at this point, my family keeps telling me I just forget I moved it. I am ashamed to keep bringing it up. I know I sound insane, but is it possible to have cameras installed in the fire alarms? Could I call the fire department in their non-emergency number just asking if they could take a look at it because of the weird noises? I really just want my peaceful life back. Constantly knowing someone might have been in here in the past while I slept is really creeping me out and making me want to cry. Do you have any advice on what I should do? Here are pictures of the alarms. The first one is in the hallway, and the second and third one, with the open part, is in my bedroom. I tried to take them secretly, so I apologize for the quality. So, I feel it is safe to say that what Opie is going through would be a nightmare for anyone. But the fact that she not only lives alone, but feels stuck in being unable to do anything has to be one of the worst feelings anyone could go through. I can respect her choice to stay for the time being, as I wouldn't want anyone at all to attempt to scare me out of my own home, let alone make me feel like a victim in it. And for the time being, all she has to go on is her gut feeling of something being wrong. And while I am not attempting at all to gaslight her in any way, I do want to point out that everything she is feeling could potentially be explained away. When we are alone, we do tend to notice more subtle things than if we are with a group of people. Our senses are heightened in a way. It's why we notice certain sounds more during the night than during the day. But for all of those paranoid feelings that OP is going through, she would return soon with an update that everyone feared was the case. I never expected so many responses, so I will try to answer some questions here. First of all, my parents love and support me. I was just on a call with my mom updating her. I don't think she intended at all to gaslight me. They are not in contact with my landlord, and my mom is reasonably upset right now and probably would go have a talk with him right now if she could. My landlord lives in another city. He just owns a bunch of apartments here, but he is here multiple times a week. I live in Germany, so any US law stuff doesn't really apply. My plan of action right now is this. I am going to call the fire department tomorrow morning to have them come by. And I have a family friend come by on Monday to put in new locks. I want to check the alarms, but I am not very tall, and I don't have a ladder right now, so I cannot just rip them off, even though I would love to. I promised I will keep you all updated. Thank you for all of your kind words. Good morning, and thank you to everyone giving their input and sending messages to me. This morning has been very stressful, so I apologize if I cannot get back to your DMs. I had a call with the fire department and they told me that the alarm is not connected to them in any way, shape, or form. And that it is extremely fishy that the one tinkered with is in the bedroom. I also completely forgot I do have a storage room that has an alarm that looks identical to the one in the hallway. They told me to ask around in my friends and family if anyone knows a bit about electricity and have them come by to take it off and take a look inside. They said it's very likely some kind of foul play happened here. Disregarding the camera problem, there is still a fire alarm someone just messed with and didn't fix. My mom's best friend is an electrician and I will try to reach him today to ask if he can come by ASAP. Otherwise, I know he's going to be around Monday, so I might just have to wait a bit longer. Either way, I will keep you updated. Thank you so much for your support. My friend is going to stop by on Monday, so likely no update until then. I was advised not to rip them off, just in case there is anything wrong about it. Should I feel unsafe at any point, I can crash at my parents' or my sister's. I just want to clarify for those who are confused of why I don't just rip it off. It belongs to my landlord. If it is true what one of the posters said, and it is put up wrongly, my landlord can get in trouble for that, but so can I for ripping it off. I would have to pay both for a new smoke detector and the person to put it up. I don't have the money to risk doing that. I'm okay, nothing weird has happened since then, and I'm pretty sure I will have more answers soon. The only other thing that I am already doing anyway was that a neighbor and I were talking, and while the topic of safety came up, she just said, "You should just change your locks," without really knowing anything that happened to me here, which is not an odd thing to say, but just very specific. Sorry for not updating instantly. Today was very stressful. As of right now, my smoke detector is okay, but there are some other things that came up. I don't know what I can and cannot say right now, so I would rather not risk it and just keep things very vague, since there is now an ongoing police investigation. All in all, I have made the choice to keep my safety insured for now. Sorry for not being able to give some of you the closure they might want to hear, but maybe one day I might be able to share the full story of what happened. Until then, I do want to thank all of you so much. You helped me gain the confidence to have things looked at and to make my safety my priority. I hope things are going to be good for all of you in these crazy times. Again, thank you. I wish you all the best. And as of now, that is the story of Sleepy and Worried. With her vagueness of the details, the mention of an ongoing police investigation, and her absolute silence since this post, we can assume that yes, she did in fact find a camera hidden inside of her fire alarm. I hope that the landlord was held accountable and charged accordingly for his actions, and that OP is able to not only get some form of closure from this matter and know that she wasn't losing her mind, but also was able to get out of her lease and find a new place to live that she feels safe in. This story goes to show that you should always listen to your gut feeling that you have. If something is telling you that something is wrong, then it is a good chance that it indeed is. I am a firm believer in listening to your gut at any point. Those who simply want to brush it off as paranoia tend to forget that paranoia is just the gray area between reality and uncertainty. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will be keeping an eye on this post and seeing if there are any updates. Since this is such a recent post, there is a good chance that there will be some kind of news that follows OP's story. Remember to stay safe out there, friends. Good night.